Yes, good evening, people. My name is JR and I am the FR I'm joined there by Kerr. How you, brother? You good?
Good, thank you, my bro. All
Good to
good,
see you
thank you,
this
brother.
week. Good. You have a good week?
Yeah, man, can't complain, man. Same old, same old. Just
Yes.
different
Same.
day and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Same old with the Arsenal, man. It's like being on a roller coaster. So many highs, so many lows.
They keep it
It's
eventful, don't they?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Do you know what? It's like there was a period when I thought I can't wait to talk about Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? And we were doing so well. And within that time, we had took a brief break.
Come
And
on,
then when we come back, the
bro.
inconsistencies have started, bruv. I swear, it's
Ah,
like I'm cursed, bro.
bro,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, we're out of the EFL Cup, we're out of the FA Cup. We obviously had a draw with bottom of the league Burnley this week. I mean, I think for me that was the most disappointing because I was looking forward to, beating Burnley. I knew that Tottenham were obviously playing Chelsea, West Ham were playing Man United, so either of these teams were going to drop some points, But it was us who dropped the points. Unfortunately, we didn't take advantage of playing Burnley, who are at the bottom of the league. But is that something that we can expect from having such a young team? Would you say the ups and downs?
I definitely think so. I definitely think so. I think we touched on it a little bit last week on last week's show. I think we're going to see inconsistencies
Yeah,
because it's a young team and it's a team that's still learning, to play together and stuff like that as well.
mm,
Um, there's quite a lot of things going on, but it still don't mean that we can't be, expect better or want better for the
yeah,
team.
yeah.
I don't think it's, I don't think we're being too hard on them, or don't think it makes us a flip flop fan or whatever, just because we want and expect better. Um, but yeah, I think it is, you know, going to be something that we're going to have to come to expect to see a little bit of. I'm just hoping that you know because we seem to have these little spells, don't we, where we go on a few games where we have a little wobble,
Yeah,
but then we then pick it up again and then have another little consistent patch over a sustained few games or whatever. So I'm just
yeah,
hoping that if we can limit the amount of times that we that we have these lulls, then maybe we can compete for the positions that we want to be
yeah. The
in
top
come
four.
the end of the season. Yeah,
I mean, what was worrying for me is that we've seen in previous seasons that we've been inconsistent with maybe the top five teams, with big losses to them. But
mm,
drawing to a Burnley team where they've just sold their top striker to Newcastle, they didn't, they're bottom of the league. I think we were at home as well. I think that made
yeah.
it even more disappointing. But tell me, do you think that in terms of the squad, do you think, we've got the likes of Ainsley, he's left to go to Roma on
Um,
loan. Yeah, we got Balogun, he's gone to
always.
Middlesbrough as a for on loan as well. Do you kind of feel that we had AFCON as well? Do you kind of feel we've left ourselves a bit light though, and haven't really helped ourselves?
Definitely, I definitely think that. I mean, even looking at the Maitland Niles one that you first touched on, like
Mm,
that was a big one because I don't begrudge Ainsley, getting a move to go and play football. I really don't. But it's like for me, what's the difference between now and the beginning of the season?
yeah,
Because at the beginning of the season, Maitland Niles wanted to leave. They decided they weren't going to let him leave. Yeah.
mm,
Come now January, when we're at a time where we've actually got no players and we could actually do with him,
exactly.
and he
Good
could actually
point.
get some minutes and things like
Good
that,
point. Yeah,
then we decide to let him go. And not that we've just decided to let him go. When did we let him go? At the beginning of January,
yeah, yeah,
when we could have easily have waited till the last week,
Yeah.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
until, do you know what I mean? Until the
Yeah.
thingy go, and still let him go, because then we would have players like El Neni and whatever potentially starting to
Partey
filter
coming
back.
back.
Part
Yeah, yeah,
A, do
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you then
100%.
left it a couple of weeks, it would have made a little bit more sense. Just if you're thinking logically, in my opinion.
Yeah, no,
So I feel
100%.
like we've left ourselves short.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand the logic. If you're gonna literally, as soon as the window opens, start letting players go, surely that, you know, it's not like in defence, for example, where we've gone and let Pablo Mari go to Udinese,
Yeah,
where
we've
it's
got
like,
cover.
all right, fair enough, he ain't played all season
Yeah,
since the
yeah,
first
yeah,
couple
yeah.
of games when we had no players. But
Yeah.
since then, he hasn't had a sniff. He hasn't even been in squads and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, for me, you can see, all right, if you're going to loan him out at the beginning of the January transfer window, you're not going to hear me kicking and screaming about it.
Yeah,
But
no,
to do it to
100%.
Ainsley in midfield, and then to not act, you know, swiftly to try and replace him in a position where in our team we're the weakest. It's been the weakest since the beginning of the season.
100%.
Hence why we didn't let Ainsley go. And
Yeah.
now halfway through the season, when we're in a position as well where, let's be honest, none of us really at the beginning of the season, especially after those first 3 games, thought we was going to be in with a chance of top 4.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if we actually got our act together, we're in touching distance, and
Yeah,
we're
no.
you know, coming to the end of January, beginning of the season. Not many of us would have said that. So it's like, so when we've actually got a chance to do that, you're still then putting us at more of a disadvantage by not having
You know, sending us
players,
backwards.
and it don't make sense to me.
I think what was frustrating as well, you see teams like Juventus, you know, that we're trying to get off obviously on loan, and they said you're not getting him until we get a replacement, you know. And that's exactly what we should have done, you know. That's how our teams run, you know. Wait till we get our player, then we may consider it. You know, until then, nothing's happening because we need that player, you know.
Yep.
But let's talk a bit about Juventus for you know, when we talk about transfer mistakes. Obviously, it looks like now Vlahovic is not coming to Arsenal. It looks like he's going to Juventus. It happened previously with Locatelli, obviously in the summer. It just seems like they run the transfer market in Italy, and we've run that mistake again of thinking we can get a big time player in Italy when really he was always going to Juventus. Have we spent too much time with Vlahovic trying to get
Like,
him?
you hit the nail on the head. It was exactly the same with Locatelli. We spent too much time with that in the summer, and then all of a sudden we've ended up with just Lokonga in there.
Yeah.
When we all know we needed a lot more, and then they tried to appease us by saying, "Oh yeah, but Xhaka's surveying and signing a new contract." Like, any of us wanted him. Like, we were actually looking forward to that being the end of the Xhaka era.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, then they started acting like they done us a favor by signing him to a new contract. Like, no.
Yeah.
But so no, I'm not really. I'm not really surprised at how that situation turned out. I mean, I was kind of happy that, you know, in a way, that we was in for him, you know, because it was like, it showed a bit of intent for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, I would have liked to have got it, because then it's not just like, because, you know, it's easy now to turn around and say, oh, we was looking at trying to get Vlahovic all January now. And then it's like, okay, so that appeased us all summer because we thought we was in, I mean, all January because we thought we was in with a chance for him. All of a sudden now the January window's come to an end and we ain't done anything.
Yeah.
And then what?
100%. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
And
so
it's the then what as well, because I kind of feel that we're trying to get Vlahovic. He's obviously he's a good, very good player, very good striker.
you've got to go, you've
21
got to
as
try and
well.
go for him, ain't you? If he's available and whatever, and it made sense instead of trying to wait for the summer.
But what's plan B though? What's plan B? Do you know what I'm saying? Because you've been going for him all January, but then we should have realized at one point actually this may not go through potentially. So who else we talking to kind of resolve this? You know, to move on. You know, there's other strikers around the world that we can acquire. You know, we know that a striker is something that we definitely need.
Hearing that Aubameyang isn't being brought on the training camp to Dubai.
What do you think about that? Because obviously he's been exiled. You know, we haven't got any goal scorers at the moment. I don't think Lacazette is the guy to kind of do it for the whole season. You know, even though he does give 100% all the time.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but we've got, obviously Arteta's got the issue with Aubameyang. It's been highly reported. Do you agree with exiling him, or would you give him the opportunity to kind of prove himself and go? I mean, we've got Jack Wilshere on the plane going to Dubai training with the team, but Aubameyang's not.
Strange one. I never knew that one.
Yeah.
So that's news to me. But yeah, I feel like that's a bit strange. Personally, yeah, like I didn't necessarily agree with the fact of that he was being disciplined.
Mm.
Didn't necessarily agree with stripping him from the captaincy.
You didn't agree with that, no?
No, I'm saying I didn't necessarily disagree with it. Sorry, I didn't
Okay, okay,
necessarily disagree
okay,
with stripping him of the
okay,
captaincy.
okay.
Um, but I would have preferred if after that situation
Mm.
that they could have resolved it and at the same time then started initiating him back into the squad.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if that's what Arteta wanted
Mm.
as well. And it was this situation where, when once he done that to Oba then went the other way and was like, kicked off or whatever,
Mm.
was like, he ain't happy about the situation or whatever. Like, that's the way I'm seeing it must have gone.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
if he'd have been stripped to the captaincy and whatever, and he would have been like, do you know what? It's my bad. I'm sorry. I've been stripped. Like, that's my punishment. I deserved
Yeah,
it, or whatever the case is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
do my best going forward. You know, for the team or whatever.
Mm.
Then would he still be being exiled?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's these
Yeah.
questions that
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
really
We don't know what's going on in the background, to be fair. Do you know what I'm saying with the
don't really
situation?
know. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a bit hard to say, but I'm judging by the way that it's gone in terms
yeah.
of like how he was let go to go to the African nations before any other player in the Premier
Mm.
League.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Because it was basically like you're not needed round here, so you might as well join up
Yeah.
with the African
Mad. Yeah, yeah.
nations. So, do you know what I mean? So he weren't playing from before then anyway, and now
Mm.
it's like he's come back. He's had the medical checks because remember there was all them madnesses,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
The heart
rumors going around
lesions,
about the
etc.
heart lesions
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Then since then he's come out, okay, he's been cleared of that or
yeah.
whatever. But then now it's okay, now he's been left out of the squad. So it's like, to me, you're not trying to reintroduce him back into the team,
For
and
me,
that's obviously
saying
for
he's
one
done.
reason or another.
For me, that's saying he's done. I mean,
He's
let's
got to
think
be.
about,
He's got to be.
yeah, 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 yeah. And it's crazy because this was the guy we were saying signed the thing. I don't care how much it is, 250K, give it to him, give him what he needs. He's made captain, etc. And now we're saying like Arteta doesn't even want him near the squad. He's not even flying. And we've got a man who's not even playing for Arsenal, traded with us, flying out, taking his seat. Do you know what I'm saying? It's mad right now. So and the
Oh,
thing is
yeah.
as well, we haven't, I think in 4 matches, it was showing that we haven't even scored a goal. Do you know what I'm saying? So we need goals. We're missing goals. So having said that, if I'm honest with you, Aubameyang's form before all of this, all of these incidents was
Yeah.
rubbish. Our top
Yeah.
scorers are Emil Smith Rowe and Saka.
You
So
wouldn't have put money on him scoring them, even if
yeah, and
he
I didn't like
was
the way
playing, was you?
I didn't like the way we were playing with Aubameyang, if I'm honest with you. I think, like
Nah.
everyone's mentioned, the link-up play is poor with him. He does a lot of running nowadays, but it's like he's just running. It's like if we
Yeah,
just Forrest
literally.
Gump. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man just running.
Running
Like,
without purpose, man.
yeah,
Running
without
without
purpose. Like,
purpose,
it's like
man.
he's just blowing air, bro. So I kind of feel that, I don't know. I think the mistake was made where in the transfer market where we had option A, but we never had option B. And we didn't, if we did have option B, we didn't move to it quick enough in terms of a striker. I mean, I'm seeing reports as well that Newcastle United are getting Bruno Guimaraes, another player that
I
would have
see
wanted,
something about that
for
today.
40 million as well, or something crazy like
I
that.
hope not, because
Crazy.
I wanted him,
Yeah.
I wanted him, bruv. Like when we was being linked to him at the beginning, I was like, yeah, that's the one I wanted. Because I wanted him from
Yeah.
the summer
Yeah.
when his first name popped up,
100%.
and I was like, you know what? I like this guy,
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
like him. And
Exactly.
bruv, don't piss me off.
Newcastle, you know.
Newcastle.
Man would rather go fight.
It starts
Against
already, bro. You know,
relegation.
like that.
Yeah,
These men
yeah.
could these men could get relegated now. Yeah,
Nah, for
like this
real.
season. If we can't compete with them now and they're in relegation, bro, how are we
Yeah.
competing with them in a couple seasons if they
Nah,
stay up
yeah,
or
for
whatever,
real.
bro?
But let me ask
It's
you a
peak.
question then. If I gave you the opportunity, then obviously this is different types of money. But if I was to give you, say, 200K to play for Newcastle with the potential of moving down, or to play or get paid, I don't know, 100K to play. I'm not going to say Arsenal because obviously you'll probably choose Arsenal, but I'm going to say someone like Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying? So a top credible team. Who are you choosing?
Liverpool over Newcastle.
Yeah. Suppose that was a silly one. Right, Tottenham then. I shouldn't really give the West Ham. Let's
As
give
a
West.
Arsenal
Let's give West Ham then. I'll give you a chance to play for West Ham.
I'd,
They're fighting for top four. You only
or
get 100K.
Newcastle.
On
Do you know
Newcastle, you
what?
get.
I think again. Do you know what? I don't know. I don't know if it's the South bias in it, but I think I'd probably again still say West Ham, bro.
West Ham, yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
fair
man.
enough, fair enough, fair enough. I agree though,
Yeah,
man. But
man.
it kind of says a lot about a guy that will say, do you know what? Yeah, I'll take the 200K, we'll go Newcastle.
Yeah, it
Like,
does, man. It does. But you know what? Being put in the position, if you did, you probably would end up going there in it. Like,
yeah.
let's have it right in it. Let's have it right.
Nah, for real.
I think I'm just being like, I don't know, in an ideal world or something. I don't know. Then
For
maybe,
real, for real.
like that. If I'm being principled about it, in it. But
It's
let's be
true.
real. If anyone offers to double your money, more than likely you're going in
100%, man. And you know what? On a Saturday night, Newcastle will be bagging, you know, so it'll be a good night out.
it.
So
Trust me. You'll be in
have a
good
good time.
company, but
Exactly,
trust me.
exactly. So what do you think?
Trust me.
Obviously, we've got till the 31st, which I think is end of play Monday, before the transfer window closes. Do you think we're gonna pull something off before then? Or do you think it's too late? Have we left it too late?
No, I think this is what Arsenal do, innit?
Mm.
Like we're never early movers, are we, in the market? Like we're always
Yeah,
made to sweat in this market, well, either
yeah.
whatever market it is. But I don't know. I think I've got a feeling, yeah, just because of how reckless they've been, yeah,
Mm.
I've just got a feeling that they're trying to pull something off.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Whether they're going to be able to or not,
Yeah.
I, I haven't got the confidence. Because do you know what it is? I've got a feeling that they're going for someone of a certain quality in it.
Yeah, and I respect
Like
that.
and so do I. And I feel like if they don't get that certain quality, they're not just gonna get
Right.
anyone. Do you get what I'm saying? That's
And we've
how
done that
I'm
in the
thinking
past
right
as
now.
well. We've done that in the
We
past. Like
have
we've had, what was that Swedish guy that Wenger got?
oh,
Kerstrom or something. They never played for us.
Kallstrom with a
Yeah,
broken back.
Kallstrom. That's it. Yeah. We've had a few clangers in the January transfer window. So I do
We
respect
have.
only going for quality and being consistent with that. So we'll see. But let me ask you another question though. In terms of this team, you know, I think obviously I started off on a downer with the fact that we had drawn with Burnley. I think it's Wolves next. But in terms of if we look at the league table, I mean, we're in sixth position. I believe we're like 2 points off fourth position with a game in hand. Is are we? Am I? Are we? Are we? You know, a bit. Should we calm down? Or is this team? Is this team overachieving? Because we're still around the top four, to be quite honest. Or are we under? Or would you class it as underachieving? The fact that, you know, we've had a few losses, we're out of the cups as well, and we also I'd probably say consider the fact that a lot of these players have just come in as well. We've
Yeah.
had a large clean out and we've had a lot of new players. But how do you feel? Do you think we're overachieving as a team, or do you think we're underachieving?
I don't think we're overachieving. If I'm being honest, the reason I say that is I feel like if you look at the people that are around us,
Mm.
likes of say West Ham, for example, Man United, Tottenham, they've all had their periods in the season where, like, especially even like West Ham, like where they were really consistent at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, yeah,
Now they've started to be a bit in and out of
yeah,
form.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
losing
yeah.
games here and there. Do you know what I mean?
100.
Obviously, even down to like Tottenham, you think like they went and had the manager sacked and all the rest of it, and you think
Yeah,
they're ahead of us right now with a game
it's
in hand
mad.
or something like that. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's like I can't say that we're overachieving when I feel like we have a better team than Tottenham.
yeah, yeah,
And I feel like this is the first time in a few years that I can actually say that we've got a better team than Tottenham.
yeah, yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, even like in a
Mm.
lot of starting 11s that I was seeing going around this year, like there's more Arsenal players in that team
But then
than
you'd see,
Tottenham
yeah, no, I agree.
for the first time in a little
A
while. Do you
long
get what
time.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
100%, 100%. You'd say like Son,
So
Harry Kane are those main two players that they'd be in
look
around
at,
your, yeah, you'd look at,
yeah,
um,
100%. And then you got some
Reginald.
debatable ones
Yeah,
thrown
yeah,
around.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
But like we're a Tottenham fan, we'll probably say I'll have a regular on where we're gonna go Tierney. Do you get what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Or
Mm.
whatever the case is gonna be in it. Like we're gonna go Gabriel, they might go Romero,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever in it.
yeah. They
Like
better not. But yeah, I
there's
get
gonna be
you.
one or two. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
100%. But and then it's mad because
But
if you look at the team, obviously you would say that Man United, I
yeah,
kind of feel they've had a nightmare season so far in terms
yeah.
of what they're producing. But at
Wait,
the
JR,
same
you
time,
gotta remember I called that early though.
yeah,
Remember on the show early doors, brother, and you was like when you was having the little bit at the end of the show when you was like any other thoughts. And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
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 what
yeah,
about Man United, G
yeah, yeah,
man?
yeah. I
And you were
remember that.
like,
I know
don't say it,
that.
Kurt, don't say it. You're not gonna say what I think you're gonna say. I was like, oh, I think we can catch them,
Yeah, no, facts. It's a roller coaster season because in some
It's
ways I
mad,
look at
bro.
what they're doing, Man United, and I think they're playing some horrible football, but they're coming back into form. I will give them that. It's
You
mad because
think?
I think yeah, the last two matches. You know what? Before the last two matches, yeah, I felt that they were playing poor football. That 4-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2 that weren't running, that weren't working, bro. And then he's I think they've copied us now. They've got the is it the 4-3-2-1
Mm,
um or 4-2-3-1. And I think it's in the last match they played against West Ham, they actually played some good football. Even against Aston Villa, yes, Aston Villa came back and drew it 2-2. But to be fair, in that first half in particular, Man United played some good football. So,
okay.
and that's the first time in a while I've actually seen them play good football. Before that, I was thinking this team's dead. Rashford dead.
Yeah.
All the players weren't doing anything. But I would say for pound as well, if you look at for me, they've got a star-studded squad. Everyone was talking about we got Ben White, they got Varane. Do you know what I'm saying? They got
Yeah.
Ronaldo, they got Bruno Fernandes. So in a way, for me, they're definitely underachieving. And we're in and around them, but
Mm.
it's all to
Yeah,
play
they're the
for.
biggest
Yeah,
underachievers, I'd say. They're
yeah,
the biggest, like they're the reason why we've got a chance that we never thought we was
yeah,
gonna have.
yeah,
Like, let's
yeah,
just be real in it, because at the beginning of the season, it was really you'd have thought it was sewn up. You thought,
yeah,
right, if
yeah.
we can get top six this season, do you know what I'm saying? Especially after the last couple of years we've had, it's like
Facts.
top six, get back into Europe kind of thing. I'll be happy with that because we're sitting there looking at Liverpool City. You ain't getting past that. Chelsea, who just won the Champions League, bought Lukaku, whatever. You're thinking, okay, that's the first three sewn up. Then you
Yeah,
looked at Man United. They then went and got Varane and Ronaldo and added them to a team that come second the season before Sancho. You're like, all
yeah,
right, do you know what? Maybe that's fourth as well, innit? Do you get
yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like
No, if I was
you
a
never
betting
thought
man,
it.
definitely.
Yeah. So they were the team that I saw coming out of it, man. But I mean that I saw wrapping it up, but for the simple fact that they haven't. But the point I was getting at anyway was the simple fact that we're all when I look at the teams all around us,
Mm,
and whatever, I feel like there's reasons for all of it in it. So when I'm looking at all of it, I feel like we're not overachieving. We're roughly where we should be
yeah,
at this moment in time. I'm just hoping that the rest of this season now is really going to determine what happens because we should really be keep improving as the season's going on.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm hoping that, like I say, we're gonna see these little runs where we have or a couple of games where we have these kind of results and whatever. But I'm just hoping we can limit it and and show the consistency in between, like we have been doing, you know,
Yeah,
for
no,
stretches now and
I
again
agree.
throughout the season.
Yeah,
But
no,
we
I
need to
agree.
try and improve on that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think a lot falls on what we do within the transfer window. And I know, to be fair to the guys, Edu, etc., they have been trying to get the right players in the January window, because they knew that, we've given ourselves an opportunity being in around fourth position to get Champions League, and they wanted to finalize that by getting a real gunman up front who's going to score the goals on the centre midfielder. We were lacking, but it hasn't really worked out. So it will be good to see how well this team will play if we don't get those players. But hopefully we do get those players to kind of fill in and make us that team that we need to be, because I think we're only one or two players away from really cementing ourselves within that top four position. But in terms of Arteta, then you haven't said we're not overachieving. It doesn't seem like you're saying we're underachieving. We're kind of doing what we should be doing. Obviously, the reports have come out recently that we're due to extend Arteta's contract by 2 years. I think he's got 18 months left on his contract. How do you feel about that position? Do you think it's something that should be done? Do you think he deserves it, or would you hold out? Obviously, Man City are potentially looking for a new manager long term, and his name's been kind of put out there. I don't know how true that is. Yeah. But yeah. How do you feel about that, though?
I'm not convinced, bro. I'm not convinced
I hear
that
you.
that's the case.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the wrong decision, personally.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Reason why, yeah. If I'm being honest with you, yeah. I just feel like we've got to keep moving we need to be moving like a big club, in it, yeah. And what you don't do, right? I can see what he's trying to do and whatever. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I can see things that he's trying to do, but you don't reward mediocrity, in it. So, for example, yeah, I feel like it's a bit like the situation where Man United were in with Ollie, yeah, in that first season, for example, when he was caretaker.
Yeah.
And he was doing some good things, and they were seeing some green shoots and whatever. Then everyone's like, do you know what? Let him sign the thing, yeah. Then after that, the madness happened. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just feel like if we go and give him that, like he's like, because at the moment we're in with a chance of fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've seen some things that we're starting to like. Okay.
Yeah.
But just for example, yeah, you see how this January's gone. If this continues, yeah, and our second half peters out, and then, like you said, we've got no Europe, we've got no other domestic competitions to focus on or worry about.
Yeah.
So if we do not put a proper challenge in for that top four spot, and I mean a proper challenge, and I mean like right until the end. 100. Yeah. If we're not in with it right until the end, okay, then personally, like, I'm not sure if we should be rewarding, man.
Yeah.
With a new contract.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, because like, and that's why I didn't like when at the beginning of the season, Edu, when he gave that interview and whatever, and he was asked about what's our objectives and whatever. He didn't give one, did he? He said we haven't really got an objective. Yeah?
I think that was clever, though, if I'm honest. But I'll let you talk.
It was clever. It was clever. But what it also does is it kind of allows for this grey area, innit?
Mediocrity.
Because 100%. Because if you don't, like, let's be honest, yeah. Even if you just said, we want to fight to get back into Europe.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's the minimum standard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and it's not like he said, "Oh, we're guaranteeing it," but he said, "We want to fight to be back in Europe."
I agree.
That can mean top 6. Do you get what I'm saying? So even if you're setting a minimum expectation for yourself, which you should as a big club, and say, "All right, we want to get back into Europe, or at least challenge to be in that position." But that's what I feel like we've got to do, innit, come the end of the season. Because if we're not, like, what are we trying to do here?
Yeah, no, 100%. Do you think, going back to that Edu point, do you think they had it in their head, and internally they were explaining to players, look, we need to get top 4. This is the priority. This is what we're trying to do. but they didn't want to put too much pressure from the outside on these young players, on these new players that we had just got. So he didn't really want to say too much in the
100%.
conversation.
Yeah,
Is
100%.
that a
I
bad
understood
thing?
why. No, I
Yeah,
understood why he done it. Like even when he
yeah,
was getting pelters for it at the beginning of the season,
yeah,
but
yeah,
not. I actually understood why
yeah,
he was doing it because, like you said, it was a bit clever in terms of it was to keep the pressure off the team, the players. You know, trying to tamper their expectations and whatever
yeah,
because
yeah,
it was quite a lot to do. You know, he was throwing a lot of these players together, like what we've been saying, all young players. And yeah, they're going to have the inconsistencies. But like I say, if this season just continues, if it just from now to
nosedives.
the
Yeah,
end of the season, nosedives, and we
yeah,
end up back in 8th place,
yeah, 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 yeah.
do
What's
you
changed?
still want him to carry on?
No, yeah. If I'm honest with you, the points that you made, I fully agree with in terms of, you
I just think
know,
like evaluate at the end of the season. That's all I
yeah,
feel like. I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
give it. He's not out of contract at the
You
end of
still
the
have 12
season.
months to go
He's still going
after.
to have a year to
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like we've done it to enough players,
Mm.
okay, as
Yeah,
Arsenal
yeah,
Football Club, yeah,
yeah.
and ones that have mattered to our club, yeah. Let's have
100%.
it right. So
Yeah,
it's like we can do it with the manager then, innit? Like he can
yeah,
have
yeah.
12 months because up to now you ain't proved nothing yet.
100%. I agree.
Do you
I
know what I
agree.
mean?
I agree.
You
There's
ain't
more
proved
to it.
nothing.
Well, he's won us the FA Cup. Let's be fair to him. But well, Aubameyang did that, to be fair. But at the
Yeah.
same time, yeah, I agree. We haven't got the
He did win it. He did.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
His
gonna.
tactics.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna give
yeah,
him. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna take his thingy. But what I mean
yeah.
by he hasn't done nothing is, I mean, we
We want
finished
top 4.
8th
Yeah,
twice.
yeah, yeah. We
Yeah,
want top 4.
and
It's
it's
kind of
like
like a cup.
first season you can't fully give it to him
Yeah,
because he come halfway through. But then the second season,
yeah,
finishing 8th, that was still a
yeah,
bit of a. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like a
yeah,
bit of a
yeah,
kick in
yeah,
the teeth, and the way we went out of Europe and all the rest of
yeah,
it, like
yeah.
it
No,
weren't great last year. So it's
I
like
fully agree. I
you
fully
gotta,
agree. He's
yeah,
got something more to prove.
yeah.
And we're waiting to see if he can do it. Tell me something in terms of obviously sometimes for me personally, he shows a bit of naivety in his management. Um, what do you feel about his man management style? Do you think there's issues there? I mean, we've got the issue obviously with Aubameyang. We had the Gunduzi in the past.
Mm.
The likes of Maitland Niles making noise at the beginning of the season. The way some may say that he's treated the Saliba situation. Buying Ben White and kind of just getting rid of Saliba. Well, put him on loan. Do you kind of think there's management issues with Arteta, or is he just imposing his authority, or he's handling things right?
I think as a new manager,
Mm,
um, you have to uh, show a certain level of authority and stuff like that.
mm,
Especially as a young, inexperienced manager.
mm.
Um, you know,
Yeah,
people
no,
will always push you as far as they can in it and whatever to test you and whatever when they don't know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. What you're about?
because you have what you're about or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you kind of have to set your marker out early,
yeah.
especially when you got a lot of young players.
Mm.
Um, 'Cause, you wanna create the right culture
Yeah,
and
no,
things like that.
definitely, definitely.
So I feel like he has gone about certain things correctly, if I'm being honest with you, because I feel like there's certain things that you can tolerate and whatever. And I get it if you've got enough talent. So it's like when people like your Guendouzi's or whatever, where you feel like, yeah, you can see a talent and whatever, you think to yourself, oh, could you have persisted with him a little bit more? Could you have put an arm around him? Even the Saliba thing, do you know what I mean? Like, could you have
Yeah,
like gone about it a bit differently or whatever the case is? But and again with Maitland Niles as well, the same. But I just feel
yeah,
like as a young manager, he's gonna have these situations where he's learning, in it. He's
mm.
learning because he has to learn how to manage all these different egos and whatnot. But at the same time, I feel like he's done a decent enough job when it comes to that. I don't think there's anything that he's done that I've sat there and said, "Oh, that was
Yeah,
outrageous,"
no, 100%.
or
And yeah,
anything like that.
I would say on that point, one thing I would say he commands respect, and he's showing
Yeah,
them you know, how you need to address me. And I think that is very important, especially with the young players, because you can't let people get away with too much, or you'll get with situation you're hearing about the dressing room at the likes of PSG, how Emery, etc., couldn't handle it, etc. You don't want that type of scenario, you know. So I respect what he's trying to do, and we also have to remember that he will make mistakes because he's new to this game,
Yeah, that's it.
and
He's
he's
gonna
learning.
learn certain
Yeah,
things.
he's learning,
Yeah,
and
and I
that's how
feel like
life
he's
is.
learning already anyway. Like
Yeah,
I feel like you can see in certain situations he is learning how to go about things. But I feel like that he's still got a way to go. And I feel like just looking at the way that he's dealt with the Pepe situation, for example, I feel like that's
yeah,
another
that's another
instance.
one. Yeah,
Yeah, like that's another instance where you think like, come on, man. Like you can see
yeah.
Pepe's a confidence player. Like he needs a bit of an arm around the
100%.
shoulder. It's
I
like, yeah, you
agree.
can be a taskmaster and and telling what you expect, and he knows,
Yeah,
he can't produce nothing less than that. But at the
yeah,
same time, put your arm around him, make him feel loved.
100%.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
I
part of
fully
it. So
agree.
like you
Yeah,
say, that there are parts of his man management that do need to thingy, because I
develop.
feel like he could have done that to Maitland-Niles. I feel like he could have done that to, like some of these players, like even Guendouzi. I feel like he could have literally, like when it comes to the more empathetic side of things,
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah. You need
terms
to
of,
understand. Yeah,
realizing the personality that you're dealing with
hundreds.
and
There
saying,
you
do you know
go.
what? Let me try a different approach. Like I'm
Yeah,
not going to
yeah, yeah,
approach
yeah.
him how I approach my man. Do you get what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
Because he's the total professional and whatever. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Certain men don't
yeah.
always behave like that. So it's like
No,
you've got to
100%.
learn to be able to deal with different personalities and whatever. And I just feel like that part of it, he's still learning. Um, so yeah, obviously
Need
still a
some
bit of a
work.
way to go, yeah,
Yeah.
on that. But in terms of his discipline and things like that, I agree with it. But yeah, there's other parts of it where I feel like, yeah, he's the more, the empathetic side of the game, the more human aspect of the game. Do
Mm. Yeah, no,
you know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah,
Having man
yeah.
like Pepe, like just not even getting on the pitch, and
And let's talk
like
about
just silly
Pepe.
things.
Let's talk about Pepe. I'm going to end it shortly. I've got two more questions, and one of them is in regard to Pepe. Obviously, he's played 4 games, I think, in AFCON Cup.
Mm.
I think he's got 2 goals, I believe, 1 assist as well. I think he's keeping Zaha out of the first team squads as well.
Swear
Like I said,
down.
like you said, he's a confidence player, and he's playing well. He's playing with confidence at the moment, and he's scoring some good goals as well. And we saw from last season as well. I think he got 16 goals. He
Yeah,
can
man.
get goals. Would you integrate him back into the squads? Is that someone
But
obviously?
I
Go on.
love Pepe, bro.
Yeah,
I can't stress it enough. Like,
yeah,
do you know how much I wanted this guy to bang? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted him to bang for us,
yeah,
cuz because, and you know what the worst thing is, I really believed in him. Like, I
yeah. So
really
did I,
believed in
bro.
him. Like, I thought, do you know what? He might be a player that it might take a little bit more time
Yeah, but he's gonna
for
be a
it to
bad boy.
click, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's gonna be worth the wait.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
Hundred
was
percent.
fully convinced, bro. Like when I see the
Yeah.
way he was taking certain man's souls and that, fam, I was like,
Jeez.
this guy
It's gonna be,
has
yeah,
got some of the maddest ability,
yeah,
like just
yeah,
raw
yeah,
ability I've
yeah,
seen, bro. Yeah. But then it's like other times, bro, he looks like he ain't even a footballer, bro.
yeah,
Like
bro.
sometimes it's like
No,
the
hundred
ball just
percent,
rolls
man.
under his foot, or like we're
Yeah,
just too casual with it sometimes. So it's
yeah,
like it depends what Pepe you're getting in it. But like when he's on his game and he's got a smile on his face and he's enjoying the match,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's when you see Pepe, bruv.
yeah,
Like when he does something that ain't great early on or something like that, bruv, and his head goes down and then he's got that walking around with his head down.
yeah,
That's when
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
getting, and
He's gone.
he's got his sleeves over his hands and
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
Pepe, he
yeah,
ain't doing
yeah.
nothing to you, bro. Like
No,
that,
yeah,
fam. The one
hundred
who's
percent.
smiling and whatever, that guy, he's
Yeah,
terrorizing, man, fam. So
yeah,
it's like, it depends what Pepe you're getting. But yeah, I love him, bro. And I think I'd fully integrate him back into the squad because I don't actually understand why he's not in the squad anyway. I mean, he's been in squads, but
yeah,
not
but not
getting
really
in,
playing.
yeah, like and
Yeah,
whatever. Like I don't know, like just for me, like even just things like like he's on the bench and my man was bringing on Nketiah and things like that, and I'm like,
yeah,
bro,
yeah,
like I know Nketiah is a striker and he's a bit of a poacher, yeah, but let's just be real. If I want a goal, bruv, yeah,
yeah,
I'm sticking Nicolas Pepe on that pitch,
yeah,
bro,
yeah,
because
yeah. At
there's
this
a
level.
chance that
Yeah,
he can just do
Yeah.
something that no one
Or
else has
create
done.
something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what I
He's a
mean.
tricky
Like even
player.
whether it be creating something, whether it
Yeah.
just be like you said, score putting it away
Yeah,
himself,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever in it, like doing a mate, like just taking us from back to front real quick, and
Yeah.
whatever the case
100%.
is, like he can change a game in it.
No,
And
I fully agree, man. I think he
there's
definitely
not
deserves a
many
chance.
game changers in our
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like I feel like Saka's got a lot better at it. He's
Mm-hmm.
becoming a game changer for us.
But we can't
I
rely
feel
on
like he's,
Saka all the
but
time. Do
but
you know what
that's
I'm
the
saying?
thing. Other
For the
than
whole season.
Saka,
Yeah.
what
Emil
you
Smith
got?
Rowe's a
You know,
good. Emil Smith Rowe coming off from the bench as well. He's been a good game changer in the last
very good
couple,
player.
not the last
But I
recent
feel like he's a
matches.
link player and a
Yeah,
player that
yeah,
will try and get on the end of things, or like
mm.
last man runs into the area and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Whereas whereas like them man there have got the ability to literally just create
yeah,
something
yeah.
out of
Carry it, bring it forward. Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
just
yeah.
out of
No,
nothing,
100%
man.
of nothing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I
I
agree.
mean, don't get me wrong. Do you know what? To be fair, I might be doing Emil Smith for a bit of disservice there, actually, because I've actually seen him do some bits, man. I can't lie in terms of like
100%.
making his own opportunities and whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah. Positioning's
yeah,
great as well, to be quite honest,
100%,
always in the right
100%.
position to get the shot on, etc. So, yeah, no, he's definitely had a good season, man, and he's going from strength to strength.
No,
You know,
wicked.
I personally would give Pepe the opportunity, but he's a confidence player, and from what I see with Arteta, like you said, he's one of them guys. It's like, look, he wants to see he's just got a strong mentality. He wants to see your strong mentality. And if he sees you wavering in the wind, he's not a man to say, give you a hug and say, look, I can see your ability, blah, blah, blah. Pick them up. I don't feel he's like that. I kind of feel he's a bit ruthless in it. And the style that you got to approach Pepe with is different. You got to have a bit of patience with him, because there definitely is a player in there. So I hope he
Yeah,
gets the opportunity to play. He hasn't really played much this season, so he's got fresh legs really for the second
yeah,
half of
man.
the season. So why not give him a chance, But if there was one more question, if there was a question that you could, I want to ask this question every week. If there's a question that you could ask Arteta within this time, what would it be? Just one question. You got a chance to just ask him something. What would it be? And we'll end it there.
Wow, wow, what a question, Jay. Oh yeah, there was no prep for that one on that. Man
Nah,
didn't even
nah,
give man a
nah.
hint about that
Yeah,
one on
nah,
that
nah,
coming
nah.
in the background, man.
Nah, nah, nah.
Okay.
We do it.
Ooh,
We don't do it
fucking
naturals. You know what I'm saying?
El Natural. Okay.
Mm.
If I could ask him a question, ooh, what would it be? Ooh,
I think in terms of my question, it would
go
be,
on.
what striker are we getting? Yeah, so that would be,
That's
because
a big
right,
one.
right,
Yeah, that's
right
a
now
big one,
right now I'm
bro.
panicking because we've only got a couple more days before we get someone. I don't think we've got enough firepower to get us to top four without getting someone. I want to see a centre midfielder and a striker ideally, but if not, I need someone who can score some goals, man. So what are we doing? Because what I've heard is, because of the Vlahovic situation, the way it turned out, um, those who are kind of negotiating have decided not to engage with the media and certain people and keep quiet with what they're doing, and they're trying to do something at the last minute, but it's a stressful situation right now. So that's why we're not really hearing anything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So my question would be definitely, who we signing, mate? Who are we pushing for? Cause we need to hurry this up.
Bro, to be fair, that's a good question, man.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
that's a good question.
That's fine. We can end it there, man. That seems like the right question to end it with, man.
Yeah, man. Who we getting? Because other than that, bro, it's what the hell happened with Aubameyang, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Because other than
That's
that,
a good
bro,
one.
is
Yeah, for
is
real.
what the hell happened with that combo with Aubameyang? Like, what? How
Exactly.
did it turn out the way it has in it? You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
still a bit of a mystery, and for someone who's been such a big part of Arsenal for the last few years or whatever, like it was, he's carried us at times over
Yeah,
the last
100%.
few seasons,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a bit sad, man. A bit sad.
I
Like
agree.
fastest strike, like you know what I mean. He's still got a couple
Yeah, to get
records
50
for us, you
goals and
know.
all of that. Yeah,
First,
he's a
yeah,
bad man
fastest
striker.
start.
He could, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
bruv, like, do you know
He
what I mean?
was,
Like, I know he ain't been there for like, you know, you ain't putting him in like, you know, certain man's categories,
yeah,
bro. Do
yeah.
you know
But
what I
his
mean? Of Arsenal strikers, but
yeah, you know,
like,
he was a good player, man. But his demise
he's
for
been a good
me,
player for us, man.
he
But
was. His demise was like Arshavin, though. Arshavin came in like, I was like, yeah, this guy's done.
boy,
And then he just
like, his
disappeared one
decline
day.
was
Horrible,
ridiculous,
bro.
bro. I don't know what happened
Horrible.
to him, bro. Like one day he was just falling over his own feet, fam. I
Yeah,
don't know what
bro.
happened.
So
But
I'm
before
saying,
then, he was a magician. Oh,
yeah,
what about
bro.
a
Remember
player,
those 4
bro?
goals against
Andre,
Liverpool? Yeah,
bro, that
bro.
was naughty. That
Well,
was naughty.
listen. We're gonna find out what happened with Aubameyang either in his book in the future or on the Amazon
I
documentary.
was
So
gonna say,
you
bro,
know, one or the
hopefully
other,
on
we'll
the
find
Prime
out what the situation.
documentary,
Yeah,
innit? You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? We'll get a
We'll
little
see
bit of
from there.
info.
But
You know that is gonna be a bit interesting.
yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Listen, Kurt, it's been great talking Arsenal with you this week, man. It's been a pleasure.
Come on,
Thank you for
brother.
your time. Until
It's
next
always a
time.
pleasure.
Yeah. Blessings, bro.
Bless my
Take
bro.
care.
Take care.
Yeah. Take care.